o'clock Eastern now. We're keeping an eye on a live event for you right now. President Barack Obama and the First Lady are at Ohio State University right now. This is the first official rally of the president's re-election campaign. Mrs. Obama will introduce her husband, and then we'll actually hear from the president. These are pictures earlier of the president and the First Lady arriving there in Columbus, Ohio. The president's been spending an awful lot of time in Ohio, a key swing state. Again, this election season, this is his 21st visit since he became president, and we'll be going live to the event as soon as it begins with the president and First Lady there. And we've also got a full analysis of the rally today. We've put together a pretty incredible panel for you, beginning with our Jessica Yellen, who is traveling with the president and at the rally in Columbus, Ohio. Howard Wilkinson is a political reporter in Cincinnati, and we're mixing up the order here. We've got Lenny McAllister, a Republican strategist. We've got Maria Cardona, a Democratic strategist, with us again. And again, we're expecting to see the president and the First Lady in just a few minutes from now. But let's begin with our chief White House correspondent, Jessica Yellen, traveling with the president there. All right, Columbus, Ohio, full crowd. Earlier you said it wasn't quite full. Now it looks like it is. What's going on?
It looks like it is on TV, Frederica, but there are, the top tier of this auditorium is not full. It's empty, mostly. You know, it's fair to say that they expected to fill this up, so it must be a disappointment to the campaign. You should also point out the Romney campaign has never drawn a crowd even half this size. So judge by whatever standard you will. I will point out that they have been running a series of videos to warm up the crowd. They've been sending around messages saying check in on Foursquare, tweet out this message. There's a lot of sort of new media, digital media going on. And they're waiting on the president to come out and deliver a speech that will be his attempt to frame the economic struggles the nation has gone through, and in their view, ongoing progress that can get better in the future, to give their spin on a narrative that he can continue to sell moving forward over the next months to combat what he's going to face from Mitt Romney, which will be attacks on his leadership on the economy, Frederica.
And Jessica, what is it about being on a college campus in the swing state of Ohio that was most appealing to this White House?
Well, the youth vote is a major factor for the president. As you know, young people were both a source of volunteer enthusiasm. You know, they're the ground troops that go out, knock on doors. And also, it's a major decisive vote in a what should be a razor-thin election. They can make the difference if they go out and vote. And also, they're the kind of people you can hope to come out on a Saturday afternoon at this hour and fill up an auditorium. So if you want to get a crowd that's big, you go to a college campus, and that's part of the reason you would come to this kind of location. So they're a very important block for the White House, for the president.
And Jessica, no one can forget that rollout in 2008 of his campaign, Springfield, Illinois. This clearly a very different tone. He's an incumbent, but if that was the campaign for hope and change, what is the focus for this 2012 campaign?
Well, they know that kind of movement enthusiasm is different this time. It's not going to be there. The message is, you know, they call it forward, that they're looking forward, and they're arguing that the Romney campaign would take the nation to old policies that are like President Bush's policies. The idea is to argue that the case that the president needs more time to continue to make progress. They will argue that the economy is getting better. And then they have key demographic groups that they're targeting: Latinos, lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and women. You've heard major focus on women. They are a reliable voting group. And more other specialty targeted groups, auto bailout workers, and message directly to those groups that the president's policies have helped these people and these groups, and more of the president's policies will be better in the future, and electing the opposition will make it worse for these groups. That will be the message, and he's going to try to drum that home here today and over the next few months.
And Jessica, I know it's loud and people are cheering there, so clearly the people there in the room are supporters of the president, but what have people been saying to you in the last 24 or so hours there in Ohio? What are voters in general saying about the president or their hopes for the future?
who just have no interest. They want to change, and that's that. People who are undecided want to be persuaded that things can get better. I think they're starting, Frederica.
Okay, and looks indeed, the First Lady, Michelle Obama, is coming out there. We know that it's been made very clear that she is going to be a force in this re-election campaign, similar, Jessica, to how she was in once the campaign kicked off with Barack Obama back in Springfield, Illinois, way back when. And then it wasn't long after you started seeing Michelle Obama at a number of large forums from South Carolina on. So let's listen in to the First Lady there in Columbus, Ohio, Ohio State University. To the First Lady of the United States.
Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. Well, it sounds like you all are already fired up and ready to go. This is amazing. It is truly amazing. And you know what? Being here with all of you today, let me tell you, I'm feeling pretty fired up and ready to go myself. I really am. But there's a reason why we're here today. And we love you too. And it's not just because we support one extraordinary man. Although I'll admit I'm a little biased because I think our president is awesome. And it's not just because we want to win an election. We are here. We're here because of the values we believe in. We're here because of the vision for this country that we all share. We're here because we want all our children to have a good education, right? Schools that push them and inspire them, prepare them for good jobs. We want our parents and our grandparents to retire with dignity. Because we believe that after a lifetime of hard work, they should enjoy their golden years. We want to restore that basic middle-class security for our families because we believe that folks shouldn't go bankrupt because they get sick. They shouldn't lose their home because someone loses a job. We believe that responsibility should be rewarded and hard work should pay off. And truly, these are basic American values. They're the same values that so many of us were raised with, including myself. You see, my father was a blue-collar city worker at the city water plant, and my family lived in a little bitty apartment on the south side of Chicago. And neither of my parents had the chance to go to college. But let me tell you what my parents did do. They saved. They sacrificed. I mean, they poured everything they had into me and my brother. They wanted us to have the kind of education they could only dream of. And while pretty much all of my college tuition came from student loans and grants, my dad still paid a little bitty portion of that tuition himself. And let me tell you, every semester, my dad was determined to pay that bill right on time because he was so proud to be sending his kids to college. So,
all right, the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, they are talking about the basic values, American values that everyone shares. She is helping to jumpstart this campaign for the President of the United States, who momentarily will be also taking to the stage there in Columbus, Ohio. We'll bring you the President's live comments as well. Plus, we'll also have reaction from the Romney campaign.
His responsibility to his family